Today's guest is Heaven Green. She is the visionary and founder of the Ayanna Haven Foundation. She was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Her life's journey took her through different places where she witnessed struggle, was surrounded by gangs, and her years involved many challenges. She graduated from high school and she attended the Academy of Court Reporting, where she obtained an associate's degree in education. A little after, she also obtained her bachelor's degree as a paralegal from the alumni of Purdue Global University. At a point in her life, Heaven realized her deep-rooted passion for helping individuals who lacked the experience required to secure meaningful employment. However, her limited experience beyond her education posed a challenge. Heaven moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but life took an unexpected turn when a fire broke out in her Pennsylvania home, tragically claiming the life of her daughter. After suffering such loss, relocating her other children, and having to cover funeral expenses, Heaven was faced with a lot of challenges. A visit to her daughter's gravesite inspired Heaven to create the Ayanna Haven Foundation. The organization was born out of her desire to support families who had experienced the devastating loss of a child due to tragedy. Heaven Green's mission became clear: to help families find the fortitude to push through adversity and emerge stronger together. Her unwavering dedication to help others has become a beacon of hope for those in need. Her foundation stands as a testament to her commitment to making a difference in the lives of those who have experienced unimaginable loss and are seeking the strength to rebuild and carry on. Let's welcome Heaven Green to Pathways to Success.
Good night. Welcome to Pathway to Success. We want to apologize for a late start, but we have sitting right next to me the beautiful Heaven Green. I like that name, Heaven Green. That is off the chain. It's unique. Who gave you that name?
My mother actually, well, it's between my mom and my dad. We were at the point where my mom had to choose who she wanted to survive, and we both ended up surviving.
Oh, so that's the
That's the story.
that's the story about that.
That's the story.
Oh, it's a wonderful story. Can you share more about your upbringing? What was like coming up in Pittsburgh, and how it shaped your perspective on life today?
Um, Growing up in different areas, you had a lot of different gangs and a lot of different fights and stuff. So you had to see a lot of, unfortunately, people passing away and a lot of mothers crying out in the streets and not being able to pick up their child and take them home. So that was the start of it. There was also some good times as well, but when it comes to the aspect of the grieving parents part of it, you definitely, when you see stuff like that, it gets embedded in your head.
Right. And so, did that make you become a tougher person to survive within the community that you came out of? Because only the strong survive, I was taught. Not only the strong survive.
Yes, only the strong survive, but you also have to want to have a will to get out of that situation. You have some people who are, unfortunately, that don't want to get out of that situation or don't want to move from certain situations, and they tend to be stagnated. Some people have never been able to travel the world or go see different things. So not only just be strong, but you gotta have a willingness to be ready to learn and see the world.
Tell me something. Isn't Meat Mills from Philly?
So we gonna keep going to Philly?
No. I just want to know because I like him. Meat Mills can rap. I'm telling you.
That is not Pittsburgh.
That's not Pittsburgh. Oh, because I really like the way he raps with the vibes. It's just
we have
who's the other? Who? Wiz Khalifa.
yes,
Wiz Khalifa. Oh
Khalifa
yes.
is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
He's from Pittsburgh.
Yes, he is.
What a shout out to those two great rappers. I mean, great rappers. I mean, doing big things.
You know what? These Eagle fans, we ain't going to the stage. We are Pittsburgh Steelers all day, every day. Thank you very much.
We've been going with her backstage, really. So we're just into a great groove. We're having a great time. And so, but growing up during a challenging era, right, which you have the presence of gangs, how did that those experiences shape you into the influence your commitment to making a difference in society?
I just knew I wanted to be better. Originally, I went to school to be a teacher. I felt like you have one teacher
Mhm.
that actually care, then um, you have a better chance at surviving or making it better in your life. So originally, when I was seeing some of the struggles, some people didn't eat, some people couldn't have this because their parents were on drugs and different things like that. It inspired me to become a teacher and let them know that it's okay. So that was my original plan with helping and being there for people.
I like that because without a teacher, we wouldn't have had our president today. You and I wouldn't be sitting here today, and so that's a great way to go, aspiring to be an educator. But can you elaborate on your experiences at Pittsburgh Job Corps and how they contribute to your passion for helping individuals secure meaningful employment?
When I originally went to Pittsburgh Job Corps, they had a college program.
Right.
So I ended up leaving Edinburgh University and going to CCAC, and Job Corps actually paid for you to get your associate's degree. While I was waiting for classes to start, I ended up taking business office technology. So I ended up getting certified in business office technology, which is where it started. And I actually was very, very close to ending getting my education career, and I might still go back. I actually only had three classes, which actually aren't classes. It's just the externship and the internship, and
Go
I
and do
actually
it.
have that
Go
degree.
and do it. And come
But
back here.
then my life took a different turn, and I went into the legal field, which is why I got the associates, and then now the bachelor's in legal studies.
That's good. Congratulations. So you went into the area of legal studies.
Correct. That is what I
And
did.
what made you make the change? Because
My father was incarcerated.
Mhm.
And the jails from time to time just think they can do what they want to do. So it made me want to make sure that they was treating him correctly and make sure that, things were done according to the books. So as long as I was in law school, I had access to the law library and
Right.
you couldn't tell my dad and just say and do what you wanted to do. And I wanted to learn more about it and what you can do and some of the rights that we have because there are people who are falsely convicted for things that's behind bars that shouldn't be.
Well, you're a very caring, nurturing child because daughter. Because I mean, how many persons would have thought about, to help my father, let me get into the legal field to see to that everything will be okay with him. I want to applaud you for that. Good daughter. But girls always stand up for their fathers, right?
I'm a daddy's
Okay, I know. I always say that you got to be very careful when it comes on to a daughter and her father. That is something you have to be very careful. But a more sober, sad note, how did that devastating fire in Pittsburgh? How did it and the loss of your home, the loss of your daughter, impact your life and influence your decision to relocate to Fort Lauderdale? I paused when I said Fort Lauderdale. Relocate to Fort Lauderdale.
Originally, this was supposed to be an amazing experience with me relocating to Fort Lauderdale. Um, what happened was I was here looking at homes, and I got a phone call. I want to say between the hours of 10:30 and 11 o'clock p.m. Um, it was my aunt, and she said, "Hey, baby, I'm so happy to hear from you." And I said, "I'm okay." And she was like, "I was just checking on you." She said, "Because there was a fire on your street." I said, "Well, I'm in Florida." I said, "Could you go check on my house?" She was like, "Yeah." So she went up the street and she called me and she let out a very big scream. And she let me know that it was my house. I stated to count kids. And that's when she let me know that I needed to speak to the paramedics.
Right.
At this point in time, my oldest son's arm they had just put the fire out. He got caught on fire. And then after I gave permission for him to go to the hospital was when they let me know that my daughter was not out of the house, or they didn't know. They had the helicopters riding around, and with the helicopters riding around, they thought maybe she got out and was afraid of the fire and running. My house relit from, I want to say 10:30 to 11 o'clock p.m. And I got the phone call when I was at the airport at 9:54 a.m. Is when they finally got the fire out and was able to get her body out of the home.
Oh, my condolences on the loss of your daughter. From us here, it's never easy to lose a child that young. You know, I always say that parents want to know that their children bury them, not you bury the children. But you're a strong woman. But how this how did you cope? What is the coping skills for those who are watching today who may have lost a loved one, somebody very dear? What are some of the coping skills that you use that kept you today this strong?
First and foremost, I want to say get help. Make sure you get, I don't want to, I got therapy, I got a psychiatrist as well as a therapist. Please get help. Um, Part of it was the grace of God. I put in my head that, that a child was given to you from God and he took his child back. She was never mine. None of my children are his. They're mine. They're all his. Um, Another part is I had to deal with homelessness.
Mm.
Because I was in between states. That little fine line, I wasn't able to get the support and things like that. So I had to take off the grieving hat and I had to put on a mommy hat because I had to put a roof back over my children's head. So I didn't have time to grieve. I had to go straight into what do we do now? Life insurance. Please get life insurance. I had life insurance on me and my children. Of course, the bulk went on me. I wasn't expecting to lose my children. However, I did have, it was called a rider's policy, and it was enough for me to get a security deposit and to put a roof back over our head. Um, and I don't know if it was more of the rebuilding phase or more of the, I have to fight for my children. One thing I would have to do every morning is, because I'm still a mother, I would have to get up and say, I love my daughter, but I don't love my daughter more than I love my boys. So with that being said, I had to put in my mind, if you give up, what are you teaching them? What can they do? On top of the fact my children witnessed something that I could never imagine. So I had to be strong and be there for them.
So they've been through counseling too, I would
Yes,
assume.
we all did counseling.
Grief
We
counseling.
did it as a family. Yes.
Okay. And then you literally moved to Fort Lauderdale.
I went home, I buried my daughter, picked up my surviving children. I had a 6 month at that point in time, but he was traveling with me.
Right.
We grabbed a couple clothes that was donated to us and we started brand new and fresh in here in Florida.
Oh, you're a very strong woman. I celebrate you today. And again, my condolences. What the transition to Florida? Now that is another story. What are the challenges and the obstacles you have faced? And did you get any support? Um,
um, Florida is definitely a different atmosphere.
oh yeah, I can tell you.
But one of the great things that I was able to do is I got to see God's hands. I was able to go to the beach and look out at the sky, and the skies here is different. It looks like you can just reach up and touch them. And then also being at the water, it just shows you His hand. So it gave me strength. You have to find your peace within you. But for me, mine have always been the water anyway. Um, Definitely brought out a mean side of me. Florida people are not always so nice. There is some amazing people here, though. Please don't let one bad experience deter you from traveling or coming down here. However, you can get some
Funny.
people that can, when you're in my state of mind, that will push little buttons and bring it back too. But the support, no, I was down here. I didn't have support. I didn't know of some of the resources. Um, and it was definitely a struggle in the midst of my transition, which is when I was going through it. Every time I found something, I would write it down, not understanding I was going to do the Ayanna Foundation, but I just had in my head that I would never want anybody to go through what I went through. So if somebody was able to ask me, hey, how do you get this? As long as I had it in my resource packet, it was yours. And I was able to share the information because it was, I had a 6 month baby, and by the grace of God, I was already breastfeeding.
Right.
I did not want to continue breastfeeding because I wasn't healthy,
Right.
but I didn't even know where the WIC office was.
Right.
So I had to continue breastfeeding. So, there was definitely some struggles. And then I had PTSD as well. I couldn't take sirens. Every time I heard a siren, I would freeze. I wouldn't be able to move, and it would take me back to that day. So that was another hindrance that I had to overcome.
You're a very strong woman. One who have faced so much, but today you're on pathway to success.
Yes.
To share your amazing story with others, so that I'm sure there are other persons that are watching may have gone through something maybe similar, some sort of way. But the strength and the fortitude that you have shown on this show shows that you're really a winner, because to relocate with a young 6 months-old baby, then you had two other sons, right?
Correct.
And it's like did you have any family here?
At that point in time, it was just my brother and my mother. So now it's me, my mom, my brother, and my sisters all in Florida, the Florida area.
Right. And so it was just a different culture to come into. Yes, the beach is here and all that, but the people are totally different. How do you compare the people here to? Maybe that's a controversial question, but controversy also sells.
Yeah, my mom said if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Okay, Mom.
No, but there is some amazing people. And the people that have been behind me lately down here, such as Dr. Venus, Erica Mitchell, Cordelia Adderley. There's some very, very amazing people down here. You just have to, that's just like anywhere you go. You just have to pull out the weeds. And also Jamara, I apologize. Again, there's some really amazing people doing really amazing work. And you surround yourself with people who's doing great things like you are. You'll be all right.
You'll be with it. I like that. Well, we're going to take a short break on Pathway to Success, and we'll be right back.
Did you pick out this detergent all by yourself? So cute.
It's half the size and it's half the plastic. And there's nothing cute about unnecessary plastic. Christy, the average person generates over 200 pounds of plastic a year. And there are 329 million of us in the U.S. alone.
Do you want paper or... paper? Yeah.
7th generation Easy Dose laundry detergent. Half the size, half the plastic, all the clean.
So where were we?
The playoff.
Oh, yes. Only a handful of teams remained, hailing from kingdoms far and wide across the college football land, all vying for a spot in the playoffs. Each team led by a great coach, fearless players, and defended by the loyalist of fans. Soon, they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions. And to the victor go the spoils, a beautiful trophy, a grand celebration, and bragging rights that stand the test of time.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
Ready? All clear. Come on out.
You know what's going on? ship is now under the command of the First Order.
Live your Star Wars story in a new 2-night adventure.
You know what I've come for.
Only at Walt Disney World Resort.
Welcome back to Pathway to Success. I'm here with Evan Green. I like this name, and we were just laughing and talking backstage while the commercials were going on. But Evan, could you share a specific moment or realization during your visit to your daughter's grave that inspired you to create the Ayanna Haven Foundation?
It was actually her first birthday back home. We went to the grave and everybody came out and supported. And when we were taking pictures, I just looked at all the support and love that I had. And then we went to the field afterward, and her favorite game was kickball. She would run to the first base, and then she would run back, and she'd be like, I win. And we just had a time. We just had like an amazing time. It ended up turning into us having a water battle, and it was just so much fun. Her birthday's in July. And when I sat back and looked at all the support, and I got to realize I didn't have to prepare for her birthday. I had a lot of people, and we celebrated her. And that was when I said we need to learn how to celebrate our loved ones, even in the midst of our pain.
Now, the Ayanna's Heaven Foundation, how does it aim to support families?
Ayanna Haven Foundation, one thing that I do not promote, that I do is we support with the actual, one thing I say is, and I'm sorry, I just got done talking about this live on my TikTok, so, just sometimes I have to rewind. But burying someone is actually the easiest part of burying someone.
Right.
That's when you have everybody around. That's when everybody say, I'll always be there, if you need anything, and everybody's uplifting you.
Right.
A month later, when you go past a room or you see a shirt or you hear a smell, who do you know? So on the back end, we do check-ins. We do a mental check-in. How are you doing? Not how are you doing, but how are you doing?
Yeah.
We also like to make sure that we are available to you at all times. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and if you want to say nothing at all. It can just be a loud scream, cry, things like that. So that is one of the services. With our events and different donations and sponsors and things like that, we like to make sure that we give some of the proceeds to the families. It may help with the burial, it may help with the tombstone, because a lot of people don't understand that the tombstone does not come with the burial. It does not. As well as maybe getting back on their feet or different things like that. So we have a lot of little different resources that we do, and more things that is to come with helping families and maintaining. And then we try to teach them how to turn what the devil thought was for pain into God's glory, and let us be able to do something great with our children or whoever we lost, do something great in their name instead of mourning them.
Right. How do you go ahead? How do you navigate the process of funding Heaven Foundation, and what were the initial challenges you really faced?
With the donations, we have the website, which is www.ayannahavenfoundation.com. Unfortunately, my bank don't do Zelle, so we do Cash App, which is also Ayanna Haven. The challenges is just making sure people understand what we're doing and want to help. It's not helping us, it's actually helping the families and the loss of their child or sibling. When you get a phone call about your child passing away, maybe your rent's due next week. And when it comes to, I'm not going to pay my rent or bury my child, you don't even care about rent. But then when the eviction notice comes, you still have to get it done. So the support goes to that as well, just making sure that we're still able to maintain even after burying a child.
Can you discuss a specific success story or impact that the Ayanna Foundation has made for other families?
We have a very special person. I don't know if she's on here, but her name is Tika, and she has overcame a lot. We actually had one of our late night conversations yesterday, and she has just made me so proud of her. she went through many stages, and she is now coming aboard to help with helping other family grieve. Um, and she said, I was about to snap. She said, and then I thought about you, and the grieving mechanism came, and she was able to use some of the techniques that I taught her, the grieving process, to remember some of the things she's doing. She did start writing. Hopefully that will be out soon, as well as she now is in the process of starting her nonprofit, which will be Lauren's Wish. And with Lauren's Wish, they will be helping. Um, Making sure that fathers are in their daughters, well, in their children's lives. So that is one of the successful people that I'm very, very, very proud of. I couldn't say it any better.
I like that for the fathers to be now in their children's life. That many fathers have been missing, not because they're overseas fighting for the U.S. military, but because of many other things. But that is something. But in your journey of helping others, what have you been able, the key lessons you have learned about being resilient and overcoming adversity?
When you get over it, the storm doesn't look as bad as it was. And
Um,
that's just as simple as when it's raining, and then when you go outside and the sun's shining or you see the rainbow, you forgot that the storm was even there.
wow, that's powerful. You're also a foster parent, right?
Yes.
I want to thank you for adopting one of our producers. You'll be
Yes.
leaving with you to Fort Lauderdale. I don't know if Julianne has gotten his stuff together. But that's so kind of she's such a sweetheart. She just came in and decided to adopt one of his, as their foster child. That alone showed the love that she has and the nurture, the form.
They're giving me another son, though. They didn't give me a daughter.
I give them another. I give them
I'm
another
just
son.
officially a boy mom. That's
A
just
boy mom,
my
right?
mom.
So we got to give her another part of that. But tell me, so what does teamwork play in Ayanna Heaven Foundation, and how do you foster a sense of community among those you serve?
Teamwork it says a lot. With teamwork, you reach out to more people. You're able to extend your hand and offer more services with teamwork. And with the community, it's just sometimes you don't even understand. Sometimes just walking past somebody saying hi with a smile, you can actually save somebody's life. You never know what you're going through. You never know how you're feeling. And that last little bit of hope that they get, that smile might be somebody cares. So just end your day giving somebody a smile.
Smile makes a difference, right?
It
It
makes
goes
a
a
very
long
big
way to
difference.
prevent the person from giving up on life
Yes.
and recognize that smile, someone loves you.
Yes.
There's a song they would sing, everybody smile, Jesus loves you. But you were talking about a comedy for Ayanna's birthday in July.
No.
Is it?
So in March
Uh-huh.
is her anniversary.
Okay, March.
So on March 23rd, we are doing a comedy show. We were on our sixth annual.
It's good.
March 23rd in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and March 30th here in Florida. And what we do is we actually work as a team, and we have comedians come out, and we try to remind you that it's okay to laugh, it's okay to smile. Even though you're grieving, they do want to see you still smile, and they're actually smiling down at you as you're smiling. And then some of the proceeds go to the family members as well. It helps with either the burial, or it helps with the tombstone, or even just helping them get back on her feet. July, we were working on doing a prom.
Right.
She would have been turning 13 this year, so
Oh,
we are
wow.
working on doing a prom for those people who haven't got to go to prom. Maybe you had a kid early, maybe you dropped out of high school. My oldest son, due to COVID, he didn't get a prom,
Right.
so we are working on getting that done.
You're so innovative and so thoughtful of others because your foundation is doing an amazing job. I've been people getting tombstones, burials. Not everybody had the time thinking about other people's who they've lost and to assist them. And your story has been an inspirational story today. I just want to let you know that you have inspired so many of our viewers watching on Pathway to Success. And that through a tragedy, you can turn a tragedy around into something that you can in turn turn and help others over their tragedy. And that is so powerful today.
That is the goal.
I celebrate you, salute you. How can, if anyone wants to get in contact to donate to your foundation, how can they get in contact with you?
They can go to the website, which is www.ayannahavenfoundation.com. Unfortunately, my bank does not do Zelle, but we do also have Cash App, as well as PayPal, and it's Ayanna Haven.
Amen. I like that. I like that. I want to thank you for joining us. And thank you for having your new foster child. Um, that's going to cost a lot of money at his age.
He gotta get a job.
You gotta get. Not everybody know what age group that foster child is. I like that.
But see, he already told he produces, so we got some stuff. We're gonna put him to work. Work out back. Hand over fist.
Hand over fist. Great having you on our show. No, Ayanna. It's Heaven.
Correct. Ayanna is my daughter.
Ayanna is your daughter.
Yes.
And thank you for keeping our memory alive and well. And thank you for sharing with us. In life, just want to leave this bite with you. We all will go through challenges, but God will equip us with the strength to overcome every challenge. Have a great week from us here, Pathway to Success.
Thank you.